evening and welcome to the #1 news channel in the country, CNN News 18. #1 on television, #1 on YouTube for the last 21 weeks. Good evening, welcome to Viewpoint. I'm Zaka Jacob. The Karnataka anti-conversion bill was tabled today in the Legislative Council amid a roar from the opposition, both the Congress and the JDS, who are claiming that this will become a tool for harassment and that there is no need for such a piece of controversial legislation barely 6 months before the state goes to polls. The government, on the other hand, in its contention is, why should there be forced conversions at all? And this law is absolutely essential. It is needed to curb the social evil of conversions, whether it is through allurement, inducement, or even force. But in the backdrop of elections, has this piece of legislation, which should be a legal matter, has it become absolutely political, and is the bid, politically speaking, to try and polarize ahead of the assembly election?
हर गांव में प्रलोभन करके झूठ बोल करके कन्वर्शन करने का एक माफिया के जैसे काम हो रहा है, उसका रोकने की जरूरत है।
What is the urgency of doing these things? They want to polarize. They want to polarize the sake of elections. You are running the government.
All right, let's go across to our guest now. Mohan, Vishwa, spokesperson of the Karnataka BJP. Bhavya, Narsimhanmurthi, Karnataka Congress spokesperson. Arun Anand is consulting editor with First Post, and T.R. Prasad Gowda, senior leader with the JDS. Mohan, Vishwa, let me start with you. What is the compelling need when we know that the elections are due in the next 3 to 6 months? What is the compelling need to bring in an anti-conversion law at this stage? Because both the Congress and the JDS are saying this is simply an attempt to try and polarize the electorate. There is no compelling need to bring an anti-conversion law at this stage when the government is at its fag end.
See, Zaka, there is no connection between this law or the state election. If you remember, the discussion started about this an year back in the media, actually, when we wanted to bring this bill. So when the discussion started an year back, there was no 6 to 8 months election. It was more than 2 years. Okay, so you should not connect this legislation with the coming election within 6 to 8 months. So we are, discussing about this since we came to power, and this particular legislation is already there in Gujarat, it's already there in Madhya Pradesh, even in Uttar Pradesh, and also in Uttarakhand, and also Assam, Arunachal Pradesh, Himachal Pradesh. This is not something new. So there is no connect between, bringing this legislation and the
No, but Mr. Mohan Vishwa, this legislation also says it's not just force, fraudulent means, allurement or inducement, but also for purposes of marriage. Can't two people of different faiths marry each other? I mean, that's unconstitutional if you're saying that for purposes of marriage, you cannot convert.
See, Zaka, it's not the purpose of marriage, it's the promise of marriage. See, there is a difference between purpose of marriage and promise of marriage. If somebody promises to marry a girl or a boy, that one, if she marries or if he marries, then he should or she should get converted to his or her religion, then this act triggers. So it's not applicable to, as you said, it's a purpose of marriage. It's
no, but shouldn't that person, if that person is a major, is above 21 years of age, Mr. Vishwa, that person is capable and constitutionally empowered to take a decision if he or she wishes to convert to Hinduism, convert to Islam, convert to Christianity for purpose of marriage, so be it.
Absolutely. Everybody has a right to get married to any religion, any caste for that matter. The question here is the forceful inducement, the forceful misrepresentation, the forceful, coercion. So when that triggers, then only this particular legislation triggers, then only penal provisions are applicable.
No, so there again, I'll go to Bhavya Narsimhanmurthi. There again, there is the contention that, who is going to decide whether it was forceful inducement or allurement? Should it be the person in question? Or should it be her family members, relatives, anyone who can take objection to the fact that he or she converted to another religion for whatever reason? But Bhavya Narsimhanmurthi, what I want to ask you is, when your government was in power, the Law Commission at that time had proposed the draft of this legislation. Siddaramaiah was Chief Minister. He gave his assent. In fact, the cabinet of Siddaramaiah gave its assent. Why are you now opposing this legislation, something that you had given assent to when your party was in power and when your Chief Minister was in power?
So there will are details. In this particular bill, they're not talking just about the forced conversion. Here, they're talking about every case of conversion, and right after someone gives an proposal to convert themselves or, gets themselves registered either through marriage, they're going to post their detail outside a government office, and any stranger can actually come and file an objection, including their family members or relatives or anyone. That is the whole point here. There is no right to privacy.
Ma'am, that happens in the case of normal marriages also. You go to a registrar office to get a marriage registered. You have to paste your notice there for 30 days.
Yes.
That happens in normal marriages also, not even interreligious or interfaith marriages. Even Hindu marrying Hindu, Muslim marrying Muslim. If it's a registered marriage, then the notice has to be pasted at the sub-registrar's office for 30 days. What is new about it?
But why should it be? Oh, no, that is not just about the notice. It's about anyone, either of their family members or some relative, they can actually file an objection.
Yes, that is true for normal marriages also. The whole purpose of having at the sub-registrar's office your details being posted saying these two individuals intend to get married in the next 30 days' time. It says, people who have objection, please intimate the sub-registrar. That is done. Forget about interfaith marriages. Even Hindu to Hindu marriage, Muslim to Muslim marriage, you have to do that.
Forcibly converted or not. That's the point here.
Yes.
And one more very important point I want to make is, if today Dr. B.R. Ambedkar were alive, he would be arrested under this act because 14th October 1956, he converted to Buddhism with 3,65,000 of his followers. Basavanna and Ambedkar, both of them who fought for social justice, who are like, both of them would have been arrested under this particular act by the BJP government.
Mohan Vishwa, quick response, then I'll go to T.R. Prasad Gowda as well as Arun Anand. Yeah, Mohan Vishwa, quick response. If Ambedkar converted today, what he did in 1956, I think, he would have been arrested as per this law.
This is the problem with the Congress. If that was the case, then Siddaramaiah was the first person who bought that, and he was the one who was responsible for Ambedkar getting arrested. So she should answer that. She has not answered your question till now. So when they were the one who tabled for the first time in this power, today they're objecting just for the sake of, making some sort of political cheap tricks. That's all. And of Ambedkar also, see, he was very upset with the kind of, the issues which he undergone during his school days or college days, or even during his political career by the same Congress party, where they themselves stood his own personal secretary against election, and they were the one who was responsible for defeat of Dr. B.R. Ambedkar.
Okay.
And when he gets converted into Buddhism, that doesn't amount to, the forceful conversion here. That is a willful conversion. He himself has clearly told why he was not converted to Christianity, why he has not converted to, Islamic religion, why he went to Buddhist religion. So there are a lot of documentaries where he himself has told very categorically.
Okay.
So that is
T.R. Prasad Gowda, the reality is, no, once again, let me